IMS 2025, Mr. Pete Tong. Welcome back on Enjoy.
Thank you, thank you.
How are
I think
you?
you've been here since day one.
You gave me goosebumps a little bit ago with
Oh really? I've got goosebumps because it's cold up there.
all out there, yes. So you talk about radio, of course. You said the sentence which take my attention was if I was worried about something, it was how we can keep the radio alive. How we can keep the radio alive.
Well, I guess it's people like me and Benji being passionate about creating radio shows that people want to listen to. So that's kind of all we know. That's what we do. So I think, obviously, I mean, we're very lucky having the platform of the BBC to broadcast on. I often get frustrated sometimes that, you know, it's not global or it's not this, that and that, but it's still, people find it, you know, if you do quality stuff. So I think obviously you just got to be, I've been in radio all my life, and obviously there's the whole thing with commercial radio, and just the whole ethos there is just never take a risk, play the hits, you know, because they're so worried about people tuning out and not catching the commercials. We come from a completely opposite end of the spectrum, so just very, very lucky that it's a public service radio station, organisation that wants to be heard. It doesn't want to be a secret. You go to places like Australia and public service radio, or other countries, like even in America, it's like public service radio is like a really small thing, you know. So yeah.
How do you see the future of the radio? Because technology are changing.
I think people want curation. I think that's why it still works. You know, they want, obviously, streaming services like Spotify, Apple, Deezer, you know, Tidal. You can hear wall-to-wall music. Music's so available that actually, I think at the beginning of those services, when they exploded, there was a real concern of people pulling away from radio. But I think actually leave them with those services long enough and they start coming back, because they want to be told. There's infinite choice on streaming service, and people just get very lost with algorithmic playlisting and stuff like that. And even though I curate my own lists on Spotify, but then no one can ever find them. You know, they're not exactly promoted. They're hidden and buried. Whereas on radio, people can find you. So, yeah. Okay.
Intergenerational exchange, new generation, old generation. If you could say something to the new generation, what would you say them?
Well, come to IMS. No, I mean, it's, you know, we wouldn't be here without the business regenerating itself. So it's really, really, really important that the old guard embrace the. I mean, that's kind of what the music business is all about. Obviously, if you run a label, it's almost ageist to the point that you're like hyper focused on what's new and what's young. So I think it's it's a natural thing. But I want. There is no business unless the young generation are as excited and inspired to step into the business in whatever discipline they're in, to take us forward, for things to evolve, or else the business dies. So, and that's the theme of, you know, we're always trying to push IMS or encourage young people. And it's more of a challenge actually. It's expensive to come to Ibiza or blah blah blah, but we've got all sorts of initiatives to try and make it inspiring for people to come to IMS. So yeah. Thank you.
Last question is about the project that this year turned 10 years old, which is Ibiza Classics. So a tour for the winter in the UK.
And we're doing to celebrate 10 years. We're going back to the Royal Albert Hall. So we got 4 nights at the Royal Albert Hall at the end of May and the first day of June. And to kind of celebrate the journey, because that's where it started. It started as an invitation to do a prom. Never thought we'd be here 10 years later. So it's the first time we're going back to the Royal Albert Hall. So we got those 4 shows, which will be very special. We've got an amazing lineup. And then we'll be back for the winter. That's the only shows we're doing this summer. And then we'll be back for the winter run. Yeah, at the O2 and everything. So, yeah.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Cheers.